Welcome to the English studio.
Welcome back to Indie Studio. My name is Britt, and today I have a warning for any of our apartment dwellers. These guys may drive you a little bit crazy because we have in the studio Max BADER and the upstairs neighbours.
Hello.
Welcome in, guys.
Thanks so much.
We're pretty keen to have you guys here in the studio. You're like our fourth guest, so welcome.
Oh, yeah. Sick.
We probably have some people watching or listening who don't know you yet. So how about we start with the introduction?
Yeah, dude. Probably a lot of people that don't know us yet. I'm Max, and this is Aaron, and that's Jordan there, and that's James. And we just play music around Brisbane, and we have been doing so since like 2021, and it's been lots of fun. I don't really know what to say.
Who plays what?
Who plays what? James plays guitar, lead guitar, and sings. Aaron plays drums, and Jordan plays bass, and I just do the other stuff.
The rest.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess as the Max of the group.
Yeah.
The Max.
It's
the
gonna
Max
be fucked
of
if we
Max
get another
BADER.
Max.
This band came from you?
Yeah. So, originally it was just like a bunch of songs that I sort of just wrote as like, I don't know, just songs to sing by myself. I don't know. It's like an outlet for stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I want to do this with a band. And so I started doing it with bands through uni. And then this version of it started with me, Aaron, and a mate of ours, Joe, who used to play guitar, and a bass player named Tyler who used to play bass. And we just that would have been back in 2020, really early 2021, probably.
Yeah, probably late 2020. I'd even say. It's a long
Yeah,
time
yeah.
ago. Yeah.
It was a long time ago, but and then since then it's getting new people on and sort of getting a solid lineup and sort of solidifying the sound a bit more as more of a band thing and more of a collaborative thing rather than just a me thing, I guess, which has been really cool. Because if it was just me the whole time, it'd be really boring. So I think it's been cool that everyone's been working on it together now.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that you kind of started in 2020 of all the potential years.
Yeah.
Was it performing or was it recording?
So initially it was I had sort of stockpiled a bunch of songs that I wanted to bring to a band. And so it was more so rehearsing than anything.
Okay.
Catching up and actually arranging them for a band rather than just solo or figuring out parts and everything. And I don't think we wouldn't have gigged until I think our first gig, if I remember correctly, was November 7th, 2021, probably, at the End Bar or something.
Yeah, sounds about
I
right.
don't remember it because it was really close to my birthday. But yeah, that was our first gig, and that was just played the End Bar with me, Aaron, Tyler on bass, and Joe on guitar. And I think our friend Chloe got up to sing a few of the duet sort of stuff. But yeah, that was yonks ago. But yeah, it was really weird. Through COVID and all that, you didn't really perform that much.
No.
And starting a new project during COVID was pretty cooked, but it was fun. Yeah, it was good to.
Yeah, I actually think that's pretty cool. Do you think that because it was COVID and there wasn't a whole lot of performing and everything going on, and you were kind of forced to take that time instead to really rehearse and develop your music, that worked out to be more beneficial for you?
Yeah, I think just in general it was probably I think just the whole not being able to go out as much, not being able to do as much was really it just made everything that you were able to do great. So being able to catch up for a jam or a rehearsal or to be able to write stuff, and that was just sick. And then when you weren't able to do that, it's you're at home, and I don't know, when I'm at home for long enough, I just get really bored if I'm not doing stuff. And so it's just like I'd be doing like way more writing and like practicing of stuff than I think COVID's probably like the most productive I've ever been.
It kind of makes me think of that concept of like limitation leading to creativity.
Yeah.
So like in a sense you were limited because you couldn't go out and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, dude.
But that kind of bred creativity from that,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And you guys like ended up with this iteration of the band somewhere along the way.
Yeah. It's this probably December last year, right? Because you jumped on for...
I think I messaged you like in the start of November.
Yeah, because it would have been when we announced Joe was leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, because James is our newest member, and then Jordan, and then me and Aaron have been here since the start. But like James joined in like for a run of shows at the end of last year, and yeah, it's just been really good since then. Like this lineup feels really good, and like I don't know, I think we've been doing more stuff, like making new stuff together. Which is like, for so long we've sort of been catching up on stuff that like I've either written ages ago and it's like now we're bringing it to a band, or it's like we've just been polishing stuff that like we've been playing for like a couple of years, and so now it's like we're finally getting to the point where all four of us are like actually writing stuff together, which is cool. And yeah, I don't know, like it's sort of interesting with like writing stuff together. I find it really hard sometimes because it's like if I'm not feeling something, or if I can see that someone else isn't feeling something, I just get like, I'm a doomer. Like as soon as it happens, I'm like, it's over. Like the amount of times I bring a song and then like if the immediate reaction to it isn't like, this is the best thing ever, I'm just like, dude, don't worry about it. Let's not do it anymore.
I mean, we always end up doing it like towards the end of the rehearsal.
Yeah.
It's like tired anyway.
We're always
Dude.
tired. We always want to go home. And
Aaron was so over it at our last rehearsal, man. It's so funny. I was like, it was just like, he just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I got these new songs. I could just see it on his face. He's just like, I want to go home. 'Cause it was just,
I think everyone had the shits a little bit.
I've got,
Yeah.
I've got the unfortunate temperament where it's like if I don't want to do something, I really don't want to do it.
yeah.
And it's like, usually it's like the next rehearsal, it's
unbearable.
kind of like, all right, we'll come back and try it again. But
Yeah.
I think we're all quite tired for that rehearsal. So
Yeah, well, because we were doing all the, like, we're just running a bunch of, like, covers, because we've got, like, we got some gigs come out where we have to play, like, covers by, like, known artists for, like, the whole thing, and so we're, like, trying to work out, like, a good set from that, and, like, run all of that, and it was just, like, so, at first, I think everyone was like, yeah, hell yeah, like, let's do it, and then, like, we got to, like, running the songs
And
through.
no one had like.
We were just
neither one of us had
underprepared.
learned all of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there was like songs where like some of us would be on it and like know it, and then the other ones wouldn't, and we just swapping for each song.
Yeah.
And so we got to like the break. I was like, everyone take 5, and we'll come back and do some stuff. And then just like we took 5 and came back, and it's like it's over. Like no one has any energy left. But
I do think it's a fun challenge though for us as a band to try and like work
Jordan-
out how we're all gonna work. with
Jordan's
these
our
new songs
spin
that
guy,
aren't
bro. Anytime I have a thing, he's like, no, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah. That's the key person to have in the band.
Keeps us grounded, bro.
Yeah.
No, I do think it's really interesting to get like insight into the rehearsal process and whatnot, especially because if people aren't in a band like you guys are, I think a lot of it can be kind of romanticized, the idea of doing this.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time when you're collaborating in a group, regardless of what it is, it's a lot of give and take. It's compromising. It's about keeping that open communication, and it's not always fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, true.
She was
I
like,
think
"Oh,
I
so
tried to pack up my guitar like 3 times at that rehearsal.
I wasn't having it, bro. I was like, nah, come on. Because everyone whinges if we don't rehearse at Hunting Ground. And I was like, bro, I booked Hunting Ground. We've got to rehearse here.
Costed
Spend the
money and
time.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, if it was a free rehearsal, I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah,
But nah, it's like, I know a bunch of different bands have like different processes. And like even we like this is only recent that it's like sort of we've had some songs where it's like I guess there's more work to do on them and it doesn't just sort of fall into place, but like we've had some songs where it's just like we'll do like one run and it'll be like, oh, that was sick, and we'll just sort of use that, you know. But like, I know some bands where it's like they don't even talk about anything before they like run a new song. Like whoever's written the song or like has the idea will just bring it and then like play it, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I've got the idea, and then they'll play it just through like without discussing anything, and just figure out sort of parts as they're going, and like that works for them, and it's like really cool. But I think like my autism is just like this is what I think we should do, and this is what I think is, and I think my big thing is I like talk a lot about like pre-planning at the start of like, here's what I'm thinking for this and here's what I'm thinking, as if like fucking anyone's remembering that. Like, it's just, I should just run the song a bunch and like record it, I guess. That's what we started doing, is like we'll just jam on something as an idea and I'll just set my phone and record it, and so it's like if we know that we like something that happened, we have like a record of it, rather than being like, I think we should do this, and then like having a big discussion and going in and it's like, oh, we forget to do that thing, or it's like, I don't know, Max, you told me like 500 things, why I can't possibly remember all that. But I don't know, like one of my friends' bands, Pressure Maps, they're just really good at like walking into a room, they all play, they sort of naturally like figure out what's good and what's bad without like pretty much any verbal discussion of it, and that's when it's really good. That's sort of what it feels like. But other times, it's a lot of compromise and stuff. But it's never a bad thing.
So you guys don't notate your music. You prefer to just kind of memorize it. Or
well, it's like, I guess it's not even like a preference. I guess is like, it's never felt like the need to do it. Like, I think notation to me is more of like a utility thing than it is like I guess something that I feel like inclined to do or inclined not to do. Like I think for me it's like, I think it'd be really cool to notate all the music and like have chord charts and have like parts actually written down and all that, but it's just like a massive time sink, and it's like that time I'd rather be like booking gigs or like playing gigs or writing new music. And it's just like, it's never something I remember to do. Like, it's sort of like lyric sheets, like having like proper lyric sheets and everything. Like, I just have everything on my like phone, and then like, I don't know. It's, if we like get big budget and like eventually have enough cash to splash that we can fork out for like someone to actually go through and like notate all the songs properly, that's gas, because then like you can just hand that to like any session muso anywhere in the world, and it's like, if we want to do a tour or something but like a couple of us can't make it,
true,
you know, like we can just boom, like get people on board to do it. Or like if we want, say, extra band members for like a bigger gig or something, you just hand them that and they know everything. But like the only times we like sort of notate anything is in studio for like strings players or like horns players, because not always, but often they prefer to sight read rather than like figure something out by being like shown it or like just told it and like having to work it out by ear. But yeah, like I think it's less of a preference and more of just like the opportunity is there, but we haven't felt the need to do it, you know.
I don't know about you guys, but I've never used sheet music. Like, especially
you're a
for,
tabs
like,
boy, aren't you?
I guess so, but like, I can't read it. Like, I just wouldn't use it even if it was there.
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting to me, because I come from more of a theoretical background in terms of music. How do you learn?
Well, like, I can understand like sheet music, but I can't like look at it and sight play. Like, I can look at it really slowly and be like, okay, this chord's got a C and like an E and whatnot. But like otherwise I will like just listen to it and be able to pick it up. But otherwise I'll just look at a tab or look at a video on YouTube of someone else playing it.
Right.
Because I mean, that's how I learnt how to play guitar. It's just off YouTube.
Yeah.
I did the same when I learned guitar as well. I think just for us, we've all been with our instruments for long enough where we can sort of, we've got the intuition.
And the
just
ear
sort
for
of,
it.
and the ear, just to sort of feel it out.
Yeah.
Without too much, just carry on or like labour. It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
I do think that's that's a talent to just have the ear for it and know your instrument well enough.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Absolutely, yes.
Genuinely.
I think
Yeah.
it's a blessing and a curse, I think. You know?
Why is it a curse?
do you mean?
What is it a curse? That's sick, dude.
Coming
Where's
off the
this
top.
one?
It's good, but like...
Well, you just wanted to drop a bar.
Let me say something cool. I haven't said anything
Nah,
yet.
but
The
music.
curse is just you don't know how to read sheet music.
I'm probably the only one here that dead ass does just know how to read. So...
Just full
Like
stop.
illiterate.
What are they doing on the Gold Coast?
I think it's like, I think all of us are probably inclined to like use our ear and just do that more. But like to me, like ear training's a super valuable skill as well, and so is reading. Like our friend Tom, who plays bass. I don't know. Do you know Tom James? He played the gig.
Yeah,
And
Tom.
Jordan, I think you know Tom.
Yeah.
But me and Aaron play with him in our friend Harley's band, and he's I don't know how he got to this point, but he's like goated with sight reading and all that stuff. Like he just can look at like this really like hectic bass line that's like all notated in like actual, like not tabbed or anything, but like written in actual notation, and he can just read it in real time and like play along with it. It's insane. I don't know how he does it, because he's not only reading and interpreting like what's on the page and like putting that string of notes together, but he's also like knowing where to like fret his hands and also like what shapes to do to like play what's coming up. It's mental. It blows me
locked
away.
in.
Yeah, and he's got a really good ear. So it's like, I think it's like a lot of time I find it's like people are usually one or the other, I
Yeah.
guess. And like I'm definitely like, my ear's really strong, my reading's not very strong. And then I know some other people, it's like, especially classical musicians, I find a lot of times like their reading is insane. Because that's sort of like, that's the whole classical sort of approach to music. It's like you're a vessel to play what is written rather than to like improvise or make new stuff most of the time. But Tom is like a rare example of like someone who's like, it's like someone who's ambidextrous, like he can just do both. But yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Interesting.
I kind of want to circle back because you mentioned like the rare times that you do notate is if you're working with session musicians.
Yeah.
You guys have 2 singles available for streaming.
Yeah.
And I have listened to them. Phenomenal work, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
They are really, really good.
Cheers.
Close in particular, but I really like how dynamic it is and how it starts out very intimate and then builds up to that big kind of full ending.
Yeah.
There's like a brass section in there as
Yeah.
well, which is really cool. Was that synthesized or real?
So that was real. That was
Wow.
our friend.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, did I actually? That's very cool.
Yeah, so that's our friend James Pendrith. He plays trumpet and bass and like a million other things, but he played trumpet for that song, and yeah, like he actually did like he really got us out of a spot, because me and the producer of that song is the producer named John O'Froud. We did it at Hunting Ground Studio. It was also mastered by Matt Gray mastering. I think that's everyone that worked on it. But yeah, Jono, the producer, he and I like were sort of chatting about like, oh, we'll book in a session to do horns, and he's like, yeah, my friend Ben is really good with horns, and I was like, yeah, cool, sounds great, but neither of us had like specified which one was gonna hit up Ben.
Right.
And so like we got to the day of recording, and I just sort of had a feeling. I was like, did you hit Ben up to come and do horns today? And he was like, no, I thought you were going to do that. And so we were both like, oh fuck, like neither of us had checked. And so I checked with Ben. Ben Oldham is like just a gun muser, and he was like, sorry bro, like I'm not available, because like I hit him up like an hour before the session was booked in, and it was like a night session as well. And so I was like, oh shit. And so I was like, who do I know that plays trumpet? And I just happened to play like a sort of like a wedding corporate gig thing with James not too long before then. And so I got him in, and he came like super last minute and helped us out. But for that one, it was like, he's really theory based. So I was able to just sort of tell him like, I did have notation, but it was really bad because I don't know how to notate for like brass, because it's like a different they're like upper tone or something. I still don't really understand how it works. So you have to like
Yeah.
transpose it down or something. But I gave him notation. I was like, this is what it is. And he was like, that doesn't look exactly right, but let me listen to it and I'll sort of figure it out. So he listened to it, and then I was like, oh, it's also just like this series of notes, and then at the end you do like a walk down like pentatonic scale. And that to him was like, he instantly knew that because he's just, I think, more like theory based and like thinks more in like scales and notes rather than necessarily having to read something.
Yeah.
I think that's like another thing is like conceptual sort of like I guess understanding of music, because like you can read something and then you can like hear something, but then I'm tying that to like a concept and sort of understanding that concept is like a third part of it, I think. But yeah, the brass on that was real, and it was done by our friend James. He's very cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
And did he do that voluntarily, or did you like pay him to come on? Or?
So anyone like anyone who does any session work in the studio, unless they like say like, hey, look, I just want to be on this song or whatever, we always pay them, because it's like, I don't know, my thinking about it is like, anyone who hasn't opted into the project, understanding that like, or at least saying like, hey, I'm fine not to get paid, I'm always like, I want to pay them, because it's like a super big, I guess, thing that they're helping you with.
Yeah.
And like, so yeah, like whether it's like artists or like photographers, or like, we had a friend of ours make stickers for us recently, and like she just made them as like a surprise, and it was quite nice. I was like, oh, I didn't even know about it, but like she didn't want to charge us for the design, and she didn't even really want to charge us for like the test run of stickers or whatever. But I was like, nah, just like chuck us your details so I can like give you something, because yeah, I don't know, like as someone who like works in music a lot, it's like people just aren't getting paid, bro. Like,
Yes.
so it feels nice to be able to like to provide something, because I know how much it means when like someone's able to provide something to me, you know, and how much
Yeah.
like that actually makes a difference. So yeah, like it's, yeah, all that work is like paid most of the time, unless we get like Harley or Tannum or something in to sing BVs, because then it's just like they're super close mates, and we're just like,
Right.
you want to be on this song? It'll be fun, and they're like, yeah, we'll do it. But yeah.
I think that's a good philosophy to have, because like you mentioned, a lot of artists go unpaid where they really shouldn't be. And I guess on that topic, you guys gig a lot.
Yeah, fairly regular.
In Brisbane. I noticed on your Instagram and your Facebook, like, you guys seem to have played in any venue that's a venue.
Yeah, I think we've played a lot of them at this point with like the different iterations. Like we've played the Zoo. We haven't played Triffid, Tivoli, or Princess, because they're just
They're a bit
big.
Yeah.
And
You've
we
done
have-
Black Bear,
We've done Black Bear,
Cave In.
Tomcat, Greaser, O'Sculligans when that was a thing.
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden we've done, yeah.
What was that place the other couple of weeks ago? Like that really small room where everyone was sitting down. And it was kind of awkward.
It's still a secret, yeah.
Yeah, we did that.
Bearded Lady.
Beardo.
Yeah, we done better. True.
And we've done like Vinny's Dive as well, I think once. That was
Yeah.
yonks ago.
Yeah.
And then like the Zoo. I don't know if I already said
Yeah, that was
Zoo.
the first one.
Probably
It
said
was
the Zoo.
good, yeah.
The Zoo was cool, but it's like we don't get to play the Zoo again for a little while.
Actually, I'll show
Yeah,
my
you
eyes.
don't want to hate on the Zoo, bro. Jimmy's
No,
a
I'm
Zoo
not
hater.
hating at all. I love the zoo.
Yeah.
My friend manages the zoo.
Your friend manages the Zoo.
Yeah.
Holy shit, we're having a
Oh,
chat.
That's
after
information, bro. I could have known this before. What have you been doing?
this. What are you talking about,
We run
bro?
into each other at
Yeah, that
parties.
list is gonna get like cracked bigger once I have this talk with Jimmy. Bro. But yeah, we played heaps of venues, like, and they're all very lovely. Like, I think my favorite venue is probably Tomcat, which is probably evidenced by the amount of gigs that we've played at Tomcat. Like, there was a point in like 2021 where we pretty much, I think we probably played like 20 or 30 gigs just at Tomcat that year.
Wow.
And I just love the venue, man. I love all the people there. I love the staff. I love the vibe. Sounds great. Our friend Jono, who produced Close, like used to work there and do sound a lot. And so like it was just like the ultimate like comfy space. Like even still, like if we're out or playing gigs, like Tomcat's sort of like my home in the valley. It feels like, which is like it's weird because it's a bit grungy, but it's quite nice. And yeah, I don't know. And we haven't really been able to crack. We haven't really been able to crack other venues like we've been able to crack Tomcat. We sort of know what to expect from Tomcat now. It's like, get us on the gig Black Bear. I got no idea, bro. I don't know how to crack Black Bear.
So on the topic of venues, I'm kind of curious as to how you guys found your way into the scene and finding those gigs to begin with.
Literally, like, I think the first gig we did was opening... Well, the first gig that this project did was opening for another band of mine. And I just booked us as a support because I was like, I like this project. I want to play this music in front of other people. And so I think, like... But obviously, like, the sort of... The way that we got the other gig for that other band was... pretty much all the gigs that we got, because we don't have a booking agent, is either someone will offer us a gig, just sort of like sometimes a venue will hit you up, like a booker for a venue will be like, hey, we've got this date, can you come play then? But most of the time, it's just from emailing venues and just being like, hey, we want to get a gig within sort of this time frame. What do you have available? And as we've sort of grown a bit, it's gotten a lot easier to do that, especially once you sort of build a rapport with venues. Like bookers actually start to know who you are. But like when it was first starting off, it was like we'd message a venue and it'd be like, sometimes you just don't hear anything back, or they're just like, hey, sorry, we're full until whenever. And now that I sort of know how venue booking works, those motherfuckers aren't full. Like, they're just trying to be nice. But like a lot of it is literally just being in like in either in like emails or like Instagram DMs of venues and just being like, hey, can you play this? Or hitting up like other bands that you play around and sort of being like, yo, we'd love to play a show. Or a lot of gigs we've had recently has been because we've played shows with other bands, and either they've really liked our stuff or we've really liked their stuff, or often both, and we'll just be like, hey, like we should play a gig together. And then, you know, just sort of in their mind, the next time they book a gig or next time you book a gig, it's like, because most of the time when we book gigs, like I'll sort of book the supports, and the supports are usually just bands that like I really like, you know, like that we've played with recently. And
I think across the board in Brisbane, it's just gotten easier to get gigs than it used to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I feel like Tomcat used to be a lot more selective.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, bro.
in my head it used to be.
I don't know. I've only been gigging full stop since probably 2020, probably late 2020, and like I'm not from Brisbane, so like I don't really know I don't know heaps and heaps of Brisbane culture. Like I'm sort of learning it more now because I've been here for 5 years, but it's still like, I don't know. I like meet people who go to school here, like live there their whole life, Jimmy Wah, bro, and he knows fucking everybody. He knows the manager of the zoo. It's true. But yeah, like I don't really know that many people, and so it's literally just like cold calling and like emails and just sort of booking things that way that things work. But it has gotten a lot easier as time gone on, and like I think there's a real demand for gigs, especially local gigs, because like local gigs way cheaper, and like people just don't have a lot of money. Like Splendid got cancelled, like they don't want to do the it's just like people are paying less for tickets and going out less in general. So it's like nice to have like a sort of local music scene that sort of like sustains itself and is just active, so that people can have that. But yeah. Do
you find like a lot of the same people come back each time, or?
Oh, to like
your gigs
punters, like I think like more so this year, this year we've sort of started to develop like an actual like little community. It feels really good. Like I think like I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened this year. I just started shit posting way more, and so like we just got like way more people sort of like following the account because it was funny, and then like if they think I'm funny, they come to a show, and then the music is good, so they're like, oh shit, I'll
This
come
guy's
again.
funny and he's good.
Yeah. And then, yeah, but like, I think for a long time it just sort of felt like the people who would come to shows would be people that like we were trying to get there. But it's been cool recently seeing like people who just happened to be at shows. Like we didn't go out of our way to get them there. They'll see the set and they'll really like it, and they'll like sort of make it a point to like come to each show, which
That's
is really
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's unbelievable.
So I guess like the Brisbane local music scene is pretty like it's pretty saturated. There's a lot of bands that are like kind of like you guys. I think everyone has their own unique kind of sound or something about each band that distinguishes them. But there's a lot of bands and there's a lot of soloists, and arguably there's a lot of competition. But you mentioned that you're able to find gigs from having that network. So do you think there's like a benefit to that saturation, or do you feel pressure
Like pressure to like, I guess.
to get
Break
gigs
out.
and
Nah, man. Like, I'm always gonna feel pressure of just like not doing enough, or like, you know, like this isn't good enough or whatever. It's just sort of the way I am, and like the big thing that I deal with a lot is just like sort of saying like shut up, like that, ignore that, and just like enjoy what's happening. But like. The main thing that I feel about the saturation of Brisbane is that it's really, really cool because like all the bands that are playing, you know, like there's so much variety, and there's so many different like types of music, and like we did I play bass in a band called Blonded, and we did a thing for the Cube Effect, like Blonded's in the Cube Effect at the moment for the showcase thing, and it was at the TIV yesterday, and they had the lineup of everyone playing Cube Effect, and I think for a while Brisbane was like just indie rock, like everything, you know, and like I was in an indie rock band, like that's what we were. It seems like that was just the thing that was sort of happening, and then yesterday at Cube Effect, it was like just such a cool like variety of genres, and everyone was not only like really different, but everyone was like really, really good, like. And like good as in like super tight and clearly gave a shit about what they were doing. Like for me, that's like most of the time that's my like criteria for a good band is just someone who really so clearly gives a shit about like what they're playing.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if a band's like super sloppy or if like the vocalist is like pitchy or who gives a shit. Like just the music is really earnest and they care about it. That's like. Even if it's not for me, I'll just be like, that's really cool, you know? And yeah, so I think the saturation in Brisbane is like less of a competition and more of like opportunity. Like you get to play with some really cool bands, and like, I don't know, like I just want to play with bands that like I enjoy the music of, and like I want to be able to like just put on really sick gigs. And for me, it's like, it's more about making sure that everyone who's there is like, wow, that was a unreal time,
Yeah.
you know, the whole time, rather than just being like, wow, Max Bader and the Upstairs Neighbours set was really good. That's nice, but it's like the most important thing for me is like actually feeling like a part of the community, because yeah, it's like sort of when you lose touch with the community that it's like you just see bands sort of drop off because they're sort of like, I don't know, the scene's small, right? So like if you're anti-Brisbane music, people sort of know that.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not really a good way to be, I don't think.
And there's been like, in terms of saturation, there's been some like, I think there's like a very clear pathway in like with Brisbane music of like you kind of know what level you're at and what like the next level is.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool that there's kind of like you're able to gauge where you're at. But there's been some crazy bands that have come out of Brisbane in like the past 2 years.
Insane. Beanmag?
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah.
I think like they only started in like 2021, maybe late 2020.
Yeah, I saw them at like, they were playing in like the Triffid Garden, like at the start of last year.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Insane. Beanmag's probably my favourite band in Brisbane.
Yeah, there's been
They're
like
cracked.
Beanmag, Felony's really cool.
Felony's popping off, yeah. Lottie McLeod. Felicity Kircher. She's not like she's not gigging heaps, but just when she does gig, insane performance, insane songs. Like all our mates, like Jane Street, Harley, Renton's.
I think it's just cool that like there is it like it is saturated, but like obviously not everyone's gonna do that top echelon kind of thing. So it's like you can see people doing that, and you can kind of like, that's where I want to be.
And that's where you guys want to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Totally.
If we can.
Bro
Yeah.
just dropped echelon. Holy shit, dude.
I guess like
Taking me to school.
on the kind of on that topic, like you guys play a mix of gigs, original stuff and covers.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were kind of talking about this off camera before, but you've got 2 songs available for streaming now, both super professional, great sounding. You're working on more stuff as well?
Yeah, so we've, I think in total now it's like 5 songs that we have in various stages of production. One's mastered and done and ready to release, and then the other one's getting recorded at the moment. That'll probably be also mixed and mastered first, and then the other 3 are like the remainder of an EP or something, but I don't even know. But it's just like we sort of set out with a mission like last year to record this EP. And then last year was really hectic, so we didn't really sort of overshot like what how much an EP would actually cost to do. But yeah, we were sort of recording. We recorded at Airlock for like the beds of the EP, and we're all like,
Did you actually?
yeah, and so we're like feeling ourselves. We're like, fuck yeah, like Airlock, like sick studio, like doesn't matter how much it costs, like it'll be really really good, and it was really 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 good. But it did matter how much it cost.
Yeah.
So we like all of our stuff that we do for the band is pretty much paid for by the gigs, like and sometimes I'll pay for stuff out of pocket, but like I'm pretty proud of the fact that so far it's just been a product of actually gigging, you know. So it's like the amount of work that we put into gigs, and then the amount of like sort of, you know, tickets that we sell or like merch that we sell directly sort of that incentivizes like these recordings, I guess, or at least the fact that the money from that gets the recordings is what sort of pushes us to like make sure the gigs go well, because if we don't, then the recordings don't fucking come out for like a little while again, you know. But yeah.
Do you have like an expectation of when you might be releasing some stuff?
Well, I think, like, the plan was... I don't know when this will be out, but, like, the plan was probably to release something mid to late May and then have a launch in June. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's the plan, though. Like, if everything goes exactly how I want it to go in the next couple months, that'll be a reality. But
it is coming up soon, though.
It is coming up soon.
So,
Potentially, say when you'll know.
Potentially by the time that this episode is out, you guys could have something new.
Yeah, potentially. That'd be very cool. Let's just say we do, so that people at least go to our Spotify.
Yeah.
So you don't
Yeah.
Double album.
Go to your Instagram, go to your Spotify.
Yeah. If it goes the way that we want it to go, it'll be 2 singles coming out the same time in like an A-side, B-side in probably like May 20 something, you know?
Yeah.
Which would be fun. But if it doesn't go the way we want to go, just ignore that. just wait a little bit longer.
At some point.
Yeah, either way, we're going to have a big show around then, just to, you know,
That's cool.
just have some fun.
I'm kind of keen, like, on your Triple J, like, unearthed page.
Yeah, dude, that relic, man.
That relic. Everybody who's ever made something has one, right? But you described your music as being like a fusion of folk, hip hop, and indie rock.
Yeah.
Is that true to what's coming, or are you kind of diversifying the
Definitely
genre
not.
a little bit?
I've updated every other bio. I forgot we had Triple J. I'll be honest. I think that was true of like the first iteration on this project. A lot of what we used to do was like more like folk, like lounge rocky sort of stuff, like that sort of like I don't know, like Daniel Caesar or like, like yeah, Rex Orange County sort of shit, you know, but like that genre. And then the stuff we're doing now is like more noise focused. Like a lot of it is a lot heavier. Like and a lot of it is a lot dumber. Like like the music that we've been writing has just been really fun. I think I've just prioritized. Back in the day, I used to prioritize like every song has to mean something. Like in a has to like tell its own thing.
You're a bit of a pretentious songwriter.
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. And so nowadays, it's like the songs still mean things to me, but the priority is making sure that they're really fun to play and like really fun to listen to for me.
Yeah.
And like I think fun has just sort of become like the core drive of this thing. That's like when we're writing stuff, if we don't enjoy it, I can sort of see that and I'm like, well, fuck this. We're not having fun with this. Let's do something else. But yeah, like the music now, I would call it like a blend of like stuff like ballpark music and stuff like Bean Mag and stuff like Radium Dolls. Those three are probably my biggest influences at the moment. And then like Bon Iver and stuff for the softer parts. But everything else, yeah, it's just a lot heavier, a lot weirder. It's fun.
That sounds very exciting.
Yeah, it is super exciting.
Well, how about you guys give us a little taste of your music? What do you say?
Dude.
Can do.
Do you think you could perform something?
Let's do it. Yeah,
Let's
that'd be
go.
exciting.
Acapella, right here, right now.
Nah, we'll get you all plugged in, I reckon.
Yeah, awesome.
What
Good.
do we
Sounds good.
say?
Yeah,
Awesome.
stoked.
Huge.
Hello, everybody. We have Max Berry and the Upstairs Neighbours. We're going to play some songs for you now. The song's called It's a Hit. We hope you guys like it. All right, here it is. It's a hit, my ears are on it before. It's a hit, my ears are ringing, I want to hear more. It's a hit, oh, this is something that I'd love to explore. It's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit. I think you'll find I got the keys to the cage. It's a hit, we'll make $1 million in a matter of days. It's a hit, we'll make a fortune of whatever you say. It's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit, okay. It's a hit. 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 We're quite surprised you've not decided to sell. It's a hit. If you're not satisfied, we'll find someone else. It's a hit. Hey, rockstar, you're going to hell. It's a hit. 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 Well, we decided it's unequally split. It's a hit. No relate with everything, whatever it is. It's a hit. When this is over, it no longer exists. It's a hit. It's a hit. It's a hit. It's a hit. Here we go. It's a hit. I know this photo, I've seen it before. I read a thread about it on a message board. I read a post, I comment the truth. This photo is a hoax, here's a link to the proof. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. Take another time at a petrol station. Standing in a line, there's a conversation. What's that movie with the twist at the end? Where it turns out that one guy an identical twin? It's not Parent Trap, no it's not that. I think that it was magic, it was part of his act. I know the answer, and I know it with ease. How could they not know that that's the end of prestige? You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. Well, you know a little bit. I'm the big man. You know a little bit. I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. Woo! I know Scorsese by the year of release. I know which songs are Sting and which songs are the Police. I know the names of all the best actor winners. I know that Stephen King used a fake name when he wrote Thinner. I know so much that I forget how much I know. I even pay attention to who wins the Golden Globe. I wish that I could tell you something that you'd understand, but you know little bits and I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. You know a little bit. Well, I'm the big man. Yesterday I sold myself a kid. Some might say that I cashed out premature. This game we play is one I can't endure. Well, yesterday I dug myself a grave. 21 years young with a middle lower back pain. And this weight I bear, it stands to take my place. What more can I say when I say I want it? Oh, I need it. Oh, I take it. Oh, I leave it. Yesterday I tore myself apart. hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you when I know. It's hard for me to tell you, but I hope that everything around you feels fine. I hope that you'll forgive me in time. I wish I could have swallowed my pride. I wish I'd had a little more fight. I wish I could have given you up. I really wish I could have been enough. I wish that I'd have what it takes. I wish I could have had it both ways. If only I could find the right words, I'd only ever make it things worse. If only I could walk it all out, I'd only end up letting you down. If everything we had is our fight, then maybe I could shed a new light. If only I'd share what I found, then maybe we'd be better off now. It's hard for me